Don't judge me. If you like everything you see today, smash that like button and hit subscribe. We are in the garage today. We're gonna be tearing apart the 924S. I've got a little bit of noise in the right front, so I'm gonna go ahead and replace the bearings and seals in the right front spindle. So we'll take all that off and you'll see this. And as usual, I'm shooting this after I did the video, by the way, so I'm kind of cheating a little bit. Don't judge me, it is what it is, but I always forget to do that stuff. So we're actually already done, but you take a look here and you'll be able to see all the screw ups, the fun ups, and all the other stuff that we did as we got this done. So without further ado, let's make stuff out of the garage. Nick's over here daydreaming, taking his time. He's got a bunch of parts that I put out here that he's got to hit with the wire wheel brush off. Need the other one of those on the other side. So he's going to wire brush all that stuff, and then I think I've got some black paint in here. We'll prime it and then get it painted. Get that ready to go back over to the shop and redoing, at least on this side, the bearings on this side. And then we get the dent puller kit out that I bought, and I'm gonna hit this guy where we've got a couple of dents. You can see like one over here a little bit. We're gonna start pulling these dents out of this car and working on getting this thing ready. And I got to figure out my electrical issues on why I don't have turn signals. And I've got brake lights, that's about it. I got to figure all that out. And that's the hood to the Alpha. We're gonna be selling that. So got a lot of stuff going with that. Take a minute and hit this with the sandblaster, get some of that rust off of there. All right, we hit that with the bead blaster, and we made some progress, but not a ton, so we're about to hit it with a rust inhibitor. And once I get that on there, I'll let it dry, I'll prime it and then paint it. Start knocking the bearing and bearing races out of this guy. I'll throw it on time lapse when I do it and show you how to take those out. There's grooves in there. It's relatively straightforward, pretty easy. I may call the wife and have her grab some more. Can hear now. I may have her grab a set of brake pads for this car since I'm in here. All this suspension is going to be replaced. This is just a point in time stopgap. I've got new tie rod ends. Actually, I have the entire assembly in my office to replace all of that stuff and get it cleaned up. Some of you are probably yelling at me going, Frank Ball, what are you doing? That is not to your standard. Well, this stuff's not going to stay on here. It's a temporary fix. I just want to get this up and running and want to replace these bearings temporarily until we get the 944 suspension on here. If we do that, I don't know, I'm on the fence. So there we go, wide roll the sports. So I can just go ahead literally and move that to the side there. That's going to be all greasy. I'm going to get that bearing I've already repacked, but I'm going to take that thing out. I'm going to knock that race out, and then on the back of this, I will just go ahead and pull this seal. I have a seal ring somewhere over here to pull these things out, but I'm just going to pop that seal out of here in just a little bit. Then I'm going to take this inner bearing out, replace this seal. I'll probably clean all this up in the parts cleaner real good. So I don't know, I might get grease on here, but sometimes you forget more than you know, and I forgot that's the reason I had an air chisel. I could air chisel this son of a bitch. See here is I'm actually going to get my new bearings out, and I'm going to set the races inside the bearings, and I'll flip it, set the other race, and then I'm going to pack my bearings, and you'll see me pack them with all-purpose grease, and I'll set them up in there and start getting this this hub assembly back together. I'm going to hit everything with a little bit of brake fluid and get it cleaned up. the biggest pain in the ass hub I've ever fucking done in my life. Excuse my franchise. I am gonna repack these bearings. I probably destroyed, by the way, this tool, which I've had for about 100 years, so if I have to buy another one, it kind of is what it is. But I used that thing many years ago on the Mazda when I was racing. So I'm probably gonna do this by hand. Show you a little technique that I use. I'm just gonna grab a good bit of grease right here off the cap of this. I'm gonna grab this inner one first, and I'm just gonna literally take it across here. I'm gonna pat grease inside of here. Housekeeping things. I did not put the dust shield back on there just because of the amount of rust that's on there. I put a rust inhibitor on there, and I'm just going to stick with that for now. And somewhere around here I have lost a lug nut. It happens. Got a lug nut loose. It might be in my box of trash that I will graciously go through here real quick and make sure that I didn't accidentally throw it away. Now I do have all my old grease fittings and everything in here. The grease fittings, you know what I meant. All my greased up bearings and my absolute greasy mess, but I don't think I would have put a lug nut in here. Chances are somebody walking through here, AKA Frank Ball, probably kicked it. But not to worry, I've got more from the Porsche. So I know that I'll find it. And this is part one of today's project done. Part two is coming. Okay, it is raining outside, so we will go for just a quick run. Plug this in and watch my My volts DC, they look good. All I'm gonna do is take this thing down and around the block real quick. Just want to hear if I'm still picking up on the bearing noise, so bear with me. Three things I don't want to have happen. I don't want to have a wheel fall off. Don't want to wreck. I don't want to get stuck out here in the rain, so make sure my brakes are working. I'm just going to pump them up a little bit. I don't hear the bearing noise anymore. I think that inner wheel bearing may have been bad. And it is for sure raining. Pump my brakes up. I have good pads, so can't complain on that. Actually, I could turn the windshield wipers on because, believe it or not, my one windshield wiper is working. Oh, there goes a hawk right in front of the car. Alrighty, let's listen. No more wheel bearing noise. Zippo, none. I won't lie, they can all use a replacement. The poor little hub. Next time I go to do this, I'll be going to 944 spindles and hubs. Let's listen. All gone. My Virgin car is getting wet. I have a windshield wiper. I wish I had the middle one because then I could change the blade on here and just put one that goes back and forth. Look kind of cool. Le Mans stylish. Car is pulling a little bit to the right. Just kind of work the brakes a little bit here. I know, long video again. I will get off here. Everything's working great. All right, should we do it again? Everybody ready? Viva, watch the transformation. Gonna do it again. Look at that. Porsche doors. Porsche doors. Porsche doors. We have no stereo, so we have speaker holes in there, but Porsche doors. Porsche doors. We got Porsche seats coming next, but Porsche doors. What do you think about that? It's kind of like coolness, right? I'm just saying. That's pretty cool little car.